Greetings, welcome to the Talking Trash Studio. Jason the Piche here. You got your Josh Goyette in the middle. Kyle Goyette representing the man, the myth, the legend, Brett Favre in studio here today. Our number is 651-0589. Feel free to join us with something that you would like to talk about. It doesn't necessarily have to be a local team, as it always is.
It could be anything.
Whatever.
Anything.
You want to get in on something? You gotta, you want to get in on the sports
phone,
station.
And you dial the numbers, and we'll get a phone call, and here's three guys with a phone call.
So you're doing the John Madden voice without doing it.
I was doing it a little impression, but I didn't really go the full way. Maybe later.
Well,
if
why don't you give it up and do the whole thing? But we're gonna start our show with the segment that has been catching on like wildfire. So we've decided that we're gonna call it One Hot Minute for now. Maybe we'll change the name of it. I don't know. It's so hot that I gotta wear shades. Where each one of us takes a minute and just kind of breaks down a random topic. And I do not believe Barry Bonds is on the docket, but we're starting on the far end with Kyle. Go.
He's not on mine. I don't know about these guys over here. I want to talk about Robbie Gordon, because this guy is good stuff. He makes NASCAR exciting. He made the Busch race exciting the other day in Montreal. With about two or so laps to go, there's a caution that comes out. Well, Robbie Gordon's riding around in second place, and Marcus Ambrose is leading the race. And right before the caution came out, you can see the yellow light on the side of the track, and that light is on, which indicates that there's a caution. So they start slowing down, and Robbie Gordon goes to slow down, and Marcus Ambrose slows down a little bit too much right in front of him, spins him out. They tell Robbie Gordon that he's got to go back to 13th. He says no, races up through the field, does the final 2 laps, as if he's won the race. Well, he got disqualified. Kevin Harvick, your winner. The double burnout will live forever. It was fantastic.
Holy crap, that was fast. It was even under a minute. Josh, go.
All right. My subject is Brady Quinn finally signed his contract, and it was a 5-year contract. He waited 11 days past the start of training camp to do so. It's not a huge loss to the Cleveland Browns for time, but the problem that I have with it is guys lately have been coming out of college and they don't want to sign contracts unless they get guaranteed money, which I can understand guaranteed money. But one of the things that we're quick to do is we're quick to jump on other guys such as Terrell Owens, such as, anybody else that's ever held out. I think Hines Ward did it before, and then he came back because he was catching a lot of grief for trying to hold out. But guys that hold out and wait to get paid their guaranteed money are almost as bad as guys like Terrell Owens who tear teams apart, because that's what you're doing, is you're giving a part of yourself to that team to make the success of the team better, not your individual financial situation, the team status. And it's bad that a guy like Quinn comes into the league and starts his career off with that.
Ding, you used his extra minutes, so that's okay.
All right.
I blew through mine.
I'm going to go ahead and talk about something that's near and dear to Red Sox fans' hearts, which is not something I usually like to do. But the Mariner Moose almost ran over Coco Crisp with his ATV at the ball game the other day. And as a guy who's put on a lot of different mascot suits in his time, I can tell you it's really hard to see in those darn things. And teams have got to stop letting their mascots do such things like driving ATVs as close to the players as they do, or doing things that can injure not only themselves or the players, but also the fans. I mean, it's getting a little crazy now with how far teams are taking the entertainment part of the game into the aspect of the event, and instead of letting the game speak for itself. I'm all for mascots, of course, but I think we should keep them off ATVs and keep them the heck away from the players before somebody seriously gets hurt. It would be the dumbest injury in sports history. Luckily, Coco was okay, but the Moose is in trouble with the Mariners.
Well, that's a good start.
That's right, Bonds. Take that, see?
I don't understand why the Mariners have a moose, but that's a different story.
Well, they had a contest and the moose won.
The moose won.
Okay.
They're in the upper northwest. The moose is a very popular animal up there.
You would just think they'd have like
a fisherman.
Yes, something like that. Yeah.
It didn't work for the Islanders, though,
captain.
so they tried it for a little while and it didn't work out. So I think maybe they,
whatever.
The Gorton's fisherman.
But
is not
Islanders, popular. Mariners, Islanders. I don't know.
A mariner, whatever. It's not important.
Okay. Real quick, I wanted to comment on yours that you think Robbie Gordon equals exciting. because of all of these
Well,
post-race shenanigans. But yet Tony Stewart says post-race shenanigans, and you don't like him. So
I don't like
that doesn't
Tony
make
Stewart,
any sense to me.
but I like Robbie Gordon because of his
guy.
actions. He went out there, he was like, no, I won this race. I shouldn't have had to go back. So what does he do? He does a double burnout. That was fantastic. I enjoyed the double burnout. And Brady Quinn.
Yeah, let's go there.
Brady Quinn.
What about it?
Doesn't deserve as much money as a top guy because remember he fell to 22nd in the draft. So really, why is he taking so long to not sign? Sorry, sorry, Brady.
But he figured it out now.
You fell down in the draft. You need to just take what they're going to give you and be happy that they came back to draft you because they had already had a pick that round.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
it's like a guy like that.
He needs to just
start
accept
his career. Like it's just amazing to me that a guy that's not even a top 5 pick can hold out. And
he could have been.
People care.
He could have been the #1 pick in the draft, and he ends up falling to 22nd.
Well, when it comes to quarterbacks, it's a very high-profile position. Brady Quinn was a very good player. A lot of people thought he could go in the top 5. Just because he slipped doesn't mean that he doesn't still generate that same sort of interest that he had before. And I'm not saying I'm for him holding out by any means, but hey, this guy's supposed to be the part of the guy, the new unit that they have in place in Cleveland to turn this team around. So it's kind of a big deal to make sure that he signs and actually gets a chance to do it.
Will they? No. Cleveland's probably not going to be all that good. I don't think so.
Who knows?
Well,
you don't know.
They're putting some pieces together if you look at it. I mean, they really are. They got Quinn now. They got some receivers. They got a pretty good tight end.
Well, there are always going to be teams that stink.
Steve Hayden?
There's going to
Look. No, they have Kellen Winslow Jr.
Oh, okay. Kellen Winslow when he's not hurt.
There's always going to be teams that stink. But as long as these teams try every once in a while, I think that's okay. I mean, in every sport, there's always traditionally teams and franchises that are always stinking. But as long as they make moves and try to get better, whether it be through drafting young players, through trades, whatever, going across overseas and picking up guys there, whatever they do, as long as they're trying to get better, I feel that is at least taking a step in the right direction. And the Browns, for all intents and purposes, have done everything that they probably can do.
But I think the Browns play in one of the toughest divisions with the Steelers, who just won the Super Bowl a couple years ago, the Ravens, who always have a good defense, and the Bengals, who I mean, I know they didn't have such a great year last year, but I think they're going to be. I think their offense will get back on track, and they'll be a top team. So like they do play in one of the toughest divisions.
So they play in a tough division, so they're not supposed to try to compete?
Well, no, they obviously try to compete, but